Today, I'll be catching every single legendary that Pokemon Brick Bond's Royal Conquest has to offer in 24 hours. But before I can even start the 24 hours hunting legendaries, I need to beat the game. Again. Because last time I beat the game, it was in a randomized version and even the legendary encounters were randomized. The reason I'm beating the game again is because some of the special legendaries like the Light Trio and Arceus require all 8 gym badges and the champion badge. With all that said, I finally got every badge back and the timer could finally start. So let's see if I can catch every single legendary Pokemon in 24 hours. It's time to catch all the legendaries. There's like 50 plus of them. I got all of them right here. But first, I don't know who to start with first, so I'm gonna just go left to right. And we got, is that Lego or Palkia? That's Palkia. That's Palkia's hand right there. So we got the Creation Trio first. Alright, so for the Creation Trio, I'm gonna use my Pikachu to fly because he can fly, you know what I mean? And then we're gonna go to, where is it? Rita City right here. Alright, I gotta find the letters G-O-D, so that's once I found the letters G-O-D, I went to Middletown and entered the Temple of Roria. Once I unlocked the temple, I had to spell out the words Imperial on the walls in order to unlock the doors. After that, I met up with Tess and I picked up the orbs that were gonna lead me to the Creation Trio. Once that happened, I went back to the cave and it was time to summon Palkia with the orb I got. First legendary in, how much minutes are we at? In almost 30 minutes. I ain't gonna lie, that's not good, but it's also not bad. It's okay, I guess. Once I summoned Palkia, it was time to capture him. Once I caught Palkia, I placed down another orb to spawn another legendary, which was Dialga. Once I caught both Palkia and Dialga, Giratina spawned in from the Distortion World and took us into his dimension. After that happened, I had to go through a 3-minute cutscene including fighting Professor Cypress again. After I beat Professor Cypress, it was time to catch Giratina. Once I caught the Creation Trio, I went back to Middletown and I entered the temple again. After entering the temple, I placed down the orbs and I summoned the god of Pokemon, Arceus. Once I caught the Creation Trio and Arceus, it was time to catch the Light Trio. Because I already had the Creation Trio, I was able to immediately spawn Lego, and once Lego spawned in, the Crowns also came through and started fighting Lego. After Lego scared the Crowns away, it was time to catch him. Once I caught Lego, I had to find a Cosmog in order to evolve it into a Lunala, which meant it was time to start legendary hunting. And the chances of finding a legendary in the wild is a 1 out of 250 chance with roll power, which is a 0.4%. So this took me a very long time until I finally found one and I caught it with a Master Ball because I was not trying to find another Cosmog if it did a teleport. It just had to be level 67, bro. Of course, it's always level 67, bro. Lunala! It's my goat. It's my goat. So Lego Loki better though, but Lunala cool too. X. But before finding the Cosmog, I ended up randomly finding a Latios and a Latias, which now meant I had a total of 8 legendaries. Oh, I got Latios. Okay, this counts. That's good. This is good. This is good. Nice, nice, nice. Wait, what? What? No. What? What? Oh, another one. Another one. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I got another one. Yo, that was so quick. First Reggie I went for was Regice, which meant I had to go catch a Giraffere and a Dunsparce to enter the cave. Once I solved the puzzle in the cave, it was time to catch Regice. After catching Regice, I wanted to catch Regirock and Registeel. Then I unlocked Regigigas. With Regigigas unlocked, I started hunting for him until I randomly fell into a dream and found Cresselia. After catching Cresselia, I woke up from my dream. I later found Regigigas, and then I went to Regidraco. To Regidraco, I caught Regilucky with my alt account since the game only allows you to pick one on each account. After that happened, I went to go find a Hoopa because I forgot the one in the story was catchable.
Oh, Hoopa! No!
Once I caught the Hoopa, it was time to catch the Beast Trio and Ho. While I started hunting for the Beast Trio, I realized it would be easier for me to find roaming legendaries if I created an alt account, since legendary Pokemons that have their own areas start roaming after you capture or fainted. So I completed the entire game again with the legendaries I already caught, and I ended up finding Raikou, Suicune, and Entei all in 10 minutes. After that, I went to an old man who gave me a rainbow wing to find Ho-Oh. Once I entered the tower, I ended up fighting 3 trainers and I used the rainbow feather and clear bell to summon Ho-Oh. With Ho-Oh summoned, it was time to catch him. To catch Ho-Oh, I wanted to catch all the roaming Pokemon since I had all alt account, which were Mew and Celebi. Also, I forgot to say Type Null and Magearna aren't a part of this challenge because they require 500 plus Pokédex captures, and that is not happening. Now that I had some of the duos and trios, I decided to catch all of the solo Pokemon before I went on to the next trios.
I just wanted to pet him.
First I flew to Crescent Island and I entered the Team Eclipse's lab. Then I entered the secret door that didn't look like a door, which had Mewtwo in it, and broke out of his tube to fight me. After catching Mewtwo with 5 Ultra Balls, I went to Professor Cypress's room to take his keycard and open the locked door which had Genesect waiting for me. Once I caught Genesect, I went to Burma City and entered another area of the volcano where I found Heatran. After catching Heatran with 18 Ultra Balls, I flew to Frostville City and I went to Route 15 and walked down the entire hill because I had no mount into a cave to find Kyurem inside. After catching the Kyurem that took 28 Ultra Balls, I went to the construction site near Port Deca and fought the construction leader for Kubfu. After being the leader, he gave me Kubfu and I evolved him with a Water Stone to Urshifu. After that, I flew to Arita City and entered a cave in Route 12, which had Koraidon and Ryuki with his worker. Once I beat both of them, it was time to catch Koraidon. Next, I flew to Port Deca and went to Lost Islands to find Tapu Koko. Once I found the Tapu Chamber and beat the 2 trainers there, Tapu Koko spawned in, making the 2 trainers run away, and it was time for me to catch Tapu Koko. After catching Tapu Koko with 1 Ultra Ball, I went down to the grave and entered the secret area which had Jirachi spawn point. But I couldn't spawn Jirachi until it was nighttime, so I waited a couple minutes until it was nighttime. Once it was nighttime, I said the magical words I wish for, which summoned Jirachi. After that happened, I wanted to catch Shaman next, which required me to get all 5 different colored Floettes. After catching all 5 colors, I talked to a lady and she gave me a Grace Cydia, which allowed me to summon Shaman. Once I got Shaman, I flew to Anthony City, and then I went to the sewers to burn a barrel which I found Melton in. Once I caught Melton, I leveled it up and evolved into Melmetal. Once I got Melmetal, I flew to Arita City and I collected all the gems I needed in order to summon Victini. Once I collected all the gems, I unlocked and entered a room which summoned Victini. After catching Victini at 28 Ultra Balls, I went for a Diancie, which meant I needed the unknown letters H-O-P-E. Since I already had O, I easily caught the other letters and I flew to Florma City. Once I got to Florma City, I went into a secret pathway into the Chamber of jewel, which had Diancie waiting inside. Catching Diancie and 8 Ultra Balls, I needed to catch Volcania next, which meant I need to get ingredients. So I flew to Chestnut Town to get Butterfree for an ability Compound Eyes, which gave me a drop rate increase of Pokemon dropping items. Once I got that, I got the 3 ingredients I needed and I flew to Port Deca. Once I got to Port Deca, I gave the lady the ingredients to cook a meal, which I then gave to the karate guy to break the rock. Once he broke the rock, I got in the volcano and it was time to catch Volcania. After that, I kept flying from Rose Cove Beach to Lagoon Lake so I could get Manaphy, which was a 1 out of 1,000 chance. But I don't think it was actually 1 out of 1,000 because I got in a few tries. Once I got the Manaphy egg, I walked around with it for a couple of minutes and the egg hatched into a Manaphy. Once I got Manaphy, I went into the breeding section and put Manaphy with Ditto so I could get Fion. But instead of waiting for the breeding to finish, I reset my alt account once again so I could easily catch the Sword Justice trio along with the Forces of Nature. Because once you have too much legendaries, it will take forever to get the certain legendary you want since there's too much of them. So once I completed the story again, I caught the Sword Justice trio and the Forces of Nature, which meant I could get Keldeo and Landorus. So I went to Keldeo first. After catching Keldeo, I went back to the cave in Route 12 to find Landorus waiting for me. Once I caught Landorus, I was able to unlock another legendary since I caught 3 Forces of Nature. So I flew to Sylvan City and the cave that was blocked off earlier was now cleared. Once I entered, I stood in front of a heart and said the words love, which summoned an Amorous. Happy Valentine's, by the way. After catching the Forces of Nature, I had a rematch with the Sylvan City gym leader in order to get Zorora. Once I beat the gym leader, he gave me Zorora, and it was time for the Aura Trio. First, I flew to Rose Cove City and talked to a guy in the middle of a route who gave me a scientist key which allowed me to encounter Yveltal. Once I caught Yveltal, I went back to the guy and the tree started opening up, which had Xerneas inside. Once I caught Xerneas, I went to Rose Cove Beach, which had a lab there, and the scientist told me to go to Route 4 where there was a secret pathway which led me to find Zygarde. Once I caught Zygarde, I talked to the pirate at Port Deca and caught the bird trio, Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres. To catch the trio, I talked to an old man and I went to Rose Cove Beach and entered a cave which had Lugia inside.
Yo, are you fucking serious? It's Sunday. I can't even get a break. Yeah, you tell your little fairy boyfriends over there to quiet the fuck down, bro. Yo, what did he just say? Yo, what the fuck did that dude just say? Yo, Rayquaza, you good? Yo, you two, listen up. Everything I just said, erase shit from your memory, okay? We gotta fight this right here, right now.
First, in order to catch Groudon, I had to rematch the gym leader in Bremer City. Once I beat the gym leader, he gave me the red orb and I summoned Groudon. Once I caught Groudon, I had to fight the gym leader in Rose Cove to get the blue orb. once I beat the gym leader, I went back to the lighthouse and he gave me the blue orb. The blue orb, I summoned Kyogre and it was time to catch him. After I caught Kyogre, the game ended up bugging itself, so couldn't go to the sky pillar to catch Rayquaza. So also I did end up catching my Fiona egg, but alright, that is the end of the video. Hopefully y'all enjoyed this one. This one took a minute. Did it take a minute? I don't know. I honestly don't know anymore. I guess it did, bro. Yeah, Psyduck is a legendary. And yeah, I'm gonna see y'all when I see y'all. And subscribe, please. Thank you.